sometimes you just have to dig really deep. And that's what I did. I dug really deep, and I was like, you know what? The world is a better place because I'm here.
Yeah.
I get to learn and do creative shit every day.
Hello, and welcome back to Retrieving Sanity with your podcast host, Keegan, and this is your podcast for all mental health, addiction, recovery issues, and topics. And I've got some questions for you, but mostly it's just, do you kind of wonder what shit goes on in your head? Because I know I do a lot, but I've got a guest here that actually is award-winning co-host of Shit That Goes On in Our Heads, and her name is Gretchen, or I think you go by G-Rex on the podcast?
I do go by G-Rex on the podcast. And funny how that whole name came about. But like, I'm just so honored to be on your podcast. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. I'm honored that you would even be on the podcast. Again, you're an award-winning podcast co-host, and I'm just retrieving sanity.
You know what? We started this 3 years ago. It's kind of a joke, right? So the podcast started because of me. I had a mental health breakdown, attempted suicide on Christmas Day, 2022. Thank God for 988 and that small glimmer of hope that things were going to get better. I was within 20 minutes of taking my life.
Ooh,
and
wow.
The lady on the other end of the line, when I called 988, was the most compassionate person I've ever spoken to in my life. She gave voice to what was going on inside my head because I didn't understand it. At the time, I was 59 and a half. You know, I'd been taught my entire life, we do not talk about mental health. Okay, you shove it down until it has no place to go. But, you know, I'm like 4'11", okay? Like, I had been shoving it down since, September of 2022, and just didn't have any place to go, and nobody knew how depressed I was. I'm a true extrovert, empath. And as an extrovert, I hid my depression well. Not a badge of honor. So if you are an extrovert out there and you are masked up, take your mask off, because at the end of the day, the only person you end up hurting is yourself.
That's very true. That's very true.
There was a lot of really horrible shit that happened in a really short period of time. And, for somebody who'd never been through that, like, I didn't understand it. I was like, all I knew is, like, I'd show up to work every day and I'd be like, hey, how are we doing? I'm great. And in the back of my head, I'm like, shit, I fucking just want to be done. I'd been offered an early retirement work, and, in all ways, that was probably a good thing. But it was also kind of scary. At 59 and a half, there's still ageism in the network, in the workplace. And I still wanted my bougie toys. I had to have my iPhone, and I wanted to work. So that kind of led to part of that depression. And then my wife got shingles, and she was sick for 8 weeks. If you've ever been around anybody that has shingles, there's absolutely nothing you can do for them.
I had a small outbreak. It sucks.
It sucks, right? And so, like, I took on all her pain and, not taking care of myself. And then I hit and killed a deer. And then I got catfished. But thankfully, like, I woke up enough out of my mental fog to not pay any money, but it still hurt and sucked really bad.
Oh.
We had a really close friend of ours pass away unexpectedly. My father-in-law passed away 2 days before Thanksgiving. And then I had accepted that offer from work to, take early retirement. Well, they took all my job duties away. So I was sitting around work for 8 hours a day with nothing to do and feeling like worthless, and it was such a horrible, hard feeling. And then you throw in seasonal depression, a little holiday depression, and then 2 weeks before everything I was finally done, we went to New York City, and it was the worst trip to New York City ever. If you ever want to listen to a really funny episode, maybe not around small children or adults with sensitive ears, go listen to season 1, episode 3. It recaps that whole trip and how nobody could figure out how depressed I was because it was totally out of character for me. Surprises me to this day. But as the healing kind of happened, after I made the call to 988, I went down and talked to my wife for like 3 hours. And like I said, she didn't even have any idea how depressed I was. And that's that's hard because as an
Mhm.
extrovert, we are very, very, very good at hiding what's going on behind it,
Yeah.
behind the mask.
Yep.
Like I said, if you have a mask on, please take it off because at the end of the day, it only hurts you.
Yep.
And so, like Christmas Day, I had wanted to go for a drive, but it was minus 22 here, so none of the cars started. And
Oh.
that was the final straw, right? I had come back in the house. I had a bottle of pills waiting for me on my dresser. I emptied them in my hands. My hands were shaking, but I had to remember 2 months ahead of time that I had read about the 988 crisis hotline. And for anybody that doesn't know about 988, this is a really important number, especially here in the States and in Canada. It is the suicide and crisis hotline. So even if you're in crisis, you can still go ahead and contact that phone number, and they will get you to that next spot. They help you, and they saved my life that day. Literally saved my life. So the next day, I opened up onto social media to let people know what was going on because, I kind of wanted everybody kind of figure out what's going on in my head because there was a lot of shit. And I had about 200 people reach out and say thank you because now they felt seen, they felt heard, and they felt validated. And that was like my first healer. And then my second healer was Dirty Skittles. Now, I use this term super loosely because I had retired like 4 months later. But she was my manager at the time. But we had been friends for like 7 years. And every day before work, because we worked in a really toxic, horrible work environment, we would call and we would laugh. And we would laugh about shit you should never, ever, ever, ever laugh about. But here's the great thing about laughter. It's a natural healer.
Yeah.
And it releases that cortisol and gets some serotonin going and gets some endorphins going. And like even during the middle of the day when like shit was like blowing up, we would just start laughing. Like we got in trouble so many times. We'd be sitting in a meeting and just start laughing about something we had talked about in the morning. So it was like during one of those conversations, she's like, hey, let's do a podcast. So we decided to drop our first episode on February 14th, 2023. In honor of my mom. And I had done that because I buried my mom in 1997 on Valentine's Day. And as part of my healing, I kind of wanted to change the trajectory of that day because I was tired of that day sucking the life out of me.
Yeah.
And so, we thought, okay, we're going to do 3 episodes and we'll be done. Joke was completely on us. And I'm still to this day trying to figure out who those first people that were listening to us, because we were idiots. All right. Like we are the exact opposite of clinical. And in the first season, we didn't have a whole lot of guests. We were gonna like try and do it on our own, but we had like 10,000 downloads. I'm like, who's listening to us?
Holy.
And we started like bringing guests on, and selfishly for us, it's like free therapy, right? We talk to these really interesting, beautiful humans out there that are doing exactly what I did. I turned all my horrible pain into something really good. And, then in September and October of 2024, we won 2 awards. Still trying to figure out who else is listening to us. Okay. Still trying to figure that out. And then in December of 2024, we hit 1 million downloads. Whoa. And as of today, we are sitting around 2.8 million downloads and listened to in over 100 countries.
Yeah. Congratulations.
But, it goes to show you that, the world wants to change. And, truly our mission has always been, let's normalize how we talk about mental health. Because there's no shame, there's no weakness in asking for help. And if you are truly struggling out there, please pick up the phone and call 988. Because you are loved, you are wanted, and you are needed in this world, and the world is a better place because you're here.
Yeah.
And if no matter what kind of crap is going on today, tomorrow could be better. But you have to give that a chance. And I listen to my own words, and crazy shit. Life gets a little lifey sometimes. So. After I retired, I had gone to work for a real small consulting firm. And, yeah, that was cool. I wanted to work, right? I just didn't want to work that hard. So I worked part-time so I could work the podcast also. And it was all well and good until November of last year when that small consulting firm got picked up by one of the big five.
Oh, no.
At the time, I was 61. If that had happened in my 20s, I'd be like, hey, cool, yeah. But at 61,
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I'd
Uh-huh.
like resting bitch face for days. But here's the cool thing. Like, therapy gave me tools that I could really use, and so that people knew right away what was going on, because this time I took that mask off. And, once you have resting bitch face, you cannot turn that shit off, right? Like,
No.
once it comes on, it doesn't turn off. But my wife is completely the most awesome person in this world. We've been together for 30 years.
Ooh, congratulations.
And on December 21st, we had gone to the city. We'd gone to New York City for a couple of days before the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to dinner, and she's like, listen, I know you hate your job. Quit. And you know how you get that feeling of like a weighted X-ray blanket just being peeled off your shoulders? And I was like, well, this feels good for a second. But then, once again, we go back to the bougie shit. Like, I want a phone, and I have bills to pay, and I still have a lot to give to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were flying home on Sunday, and I forgot how long it takes for for our plane to de-ice. It takes a couple hours.
Oh, no.
And so I had my phone, and I had ChatGPT, and I had my resume. I threw my resume into ChatGPT, and I was like, based on 45 years in corporate America and, everything we've done with a podcast, form an independent consulting firm. And in about 2 minutes, it came back with like a long list of things. I cut that list by 2/3 of it. I was like, man, I don't want to do that. Nope, no problem. So I went back to work on January 2nd and handed in my 2 weeks notice. And on the same day, I registered my LLC with the state of New York. Wow. And I opened up my own company, and I called it Schoser Talent and Wellness Solutions.
Oh, okay.
And I get to use not only like my techie side, but I'm working a lot with small companies and just individuals to make sure that their mental health is in check. Because one thing that happens with small companies is they don't have the budget for tools like Home for Business or Talkspace, because they charge a lot of money per employee. Where with me, I can build software that emulates what those bigger companies do, but for a lot lesser price point. And then I also created a course. I'm doing a beta test with friends over the next 8 weeks. And it's called, It's All About Finding Your Joy.
Ooh, okay.
Because, at the end of the day, joy is intentional, right?
It is,
and no matter how horrible everything is right now, because I can't even put it lightly. The world's on fire, okay? Literally on fire every single day. And by bringing just a tiny bit of joy into your life every single day makes it worth it, right? And being grateful for what you have, and be able to set boundaries, and taking your mask off. And so that's going to be an offering that I offer in January of next year. Just working out all the kinks. And then I also wrote a book, and my book is with a publisher right now. It's I'm getting ready to put out an Indiegogo campaign so I can get the funds to get the book out to the world. But the people that read it all told me 3 things. They couldn't put it down, they laughed and they cried, and they walked away feeling empowered. Because I wrote the book from an extrovert's point of view, because that's the only point of view I know. Yeah. But it tells my story, but it also tells tips and tricks on how to check in on your extroverted friends. Ooh. Because we are very hard to find out if we are truly depressed. Yeah. Because you know what? We're kind of jerks. Okay, we wear a mask. Okay, I wear a mask. But yeah, that's kind of my story, and I'm so grateful that we get to do this, because every time we share our journey, we unlock somebody else's prison.
Oh, yeah. I've not heard that before, but that makes a lot of sense.
It does. I mean, think about everybody you've interviewed, and somebody might just be listening to that episode one day and be like, man, I'm kind of going through something similar. And we give, between both podcasts, we give some tips and tricks that aren't normal, standardized tips and tricks. Okay. And even stuff that we gave out like 2 years ago, those websites have been taken down. So
Whoa.
our guests bring in different perspectives, different tools and tips that they've tried. And, we're helping to like change the world. And we've had a couple of listeners reach out to us on Messenger, people I've never heard of in my life, thanking us. They found us on like Apple Podcasts, and that we helped them change, their trajectory of like healing. And, we had somebody else reach out to us and say thank you for giving them permission to speed date their therapist. That's Dirty Skittles.
Yeah.
That's Dirty Skittles like thing. We're not really giving permission, but like, if you're with the wrong therapist, dude, it's so bad. Like, kick them to the curb and go to the next.
Yeah,
and
you're supposed to interview them.
Yeah, interview them like you're going to interview for a job, okay? Because these people, the nice thing about therapists is like they are the true ultimate like third person, right? They're not a friend, they're not a family member, they're not a spouse. They probably don't know you from Jack, but if you've been with them for a long time, like they can help you see things about yourself that nobody else can help you see. And that's my therapist is like, I love her so much.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think you should love your therapist because it's such an important relationship that's chosen, or should be, but it's one that is going to go so deep that you need to be sure that you want that person to know your in and outs like that, because they'll pull it on you. And the thing is that if you and your therapist don't like mesh well, it's just going to cause you much more turmoil in the head.
It is. It's like so important to have that really good relationship. And, for me, like my first therapist sucked. Like she looked like she was ready to take a nap the entire time I was talking to her. Like, well, you're not helpful. And like my second therapist was like, okay, well, go do this workbook and like, come back to me in 6 weeks. Listen, girl, I need help right now, not 6 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And then my third therapist, like she really got me and helped me to, set boundaries. Yeah. I was 59 and a half. I'd never set those boundaries before. If you're not setting boundaries now, do it. It's a game changer.
It's big.
It's huge. Taught me how to journal, taught me how to put my shields up a little bit more. As an empath, it's really hard. Sometimes you forget to put that shield up and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now? But now with my shield is like this imaginary black box. And if it smells like drama, man, it's got to meet some serious criteria before it gets to come in. Like, am I going to benefit from this? If that answer is no, you don't get to come in. Am I going to get sucked into something I don't really want to do? That's still a no.
Yeah.
How can I benefit from this? If it's something I can benefit from, they get to like inch their way in. It's not like I'm just going to open the door and be like, hey, yeah, whatever. Because at the end of the day, I was taking care of everybody else, but I didn't take care of me. Yeah. And that's like, that was a real like hard thing for me to deal with. And, I'd been a people pleaser my entire life. And now, no. You know who comes first now? Me.
You.
Me. Every day of the week. Me. And have I lost some friends because of some decisions I've made? Yes. But you know what? There's a season and a reason for some friends. And I'm happy with my choices.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're happy with those choices.
It's hard work, man. Hard work. Like, I think there's still some skeletons in the closet I'm not really like interested in entertaining right now. Maybe never, but the ones that I needed to address right away were addressed right away. And
that's good.
Out of that came this beautiful podcast, my book, and opening my own business. And if anything, I want people to see me as a story of hope and know that like life does get better, but you really have to put a lot of work in it. There's no easy button ever.
No, there's really not. And I mean, I thought I found the easy button. I thought it was just a bottle of booze, It's not. It made things so much worse.
It does. And it's not just that, it's negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking badly to yourself, don't stop it. Stop. Like, you talk to yourself like you would text somebody, right? Would you actually say those words to their face? Probably not.
Yep.
Just be nice to yourself and be kind. Kindness is a big thing right now. Like I said, the world's on fire, literally on fire. It costs you nothing to be kind because you have no idea what's going on with somebody, especially extroverts, because, like I said, we are masters. Masters of disguise. Just be nice. Just be nice. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, maybe don't say anything at all, okay?
Yeah. Yep. It kind of reminds me of that song by Bowling for Soup. Have you heard it?
No.
You haven't? So Bowling for Soup has a song called Don't Be a Dick.
I need to find that song.
I want to say real quick, I'm just super proud of you for coming out and doing all this, because even while you're an extrovert, talking about mental health, talking about feelings, talking about the shit that goes on in your head, and talking about how you're feeling, like, what? No, that is still so hard to do in today's society, because we've just been ingrained and programmed to not do it, to shut up, to ignore it, or that's bad thinking even, you know?
Well, the problem with, like, doing that is that we feed into the stigma, right?
Yeah.
By me talking about my story, about you talking about your story, about our guests, we are reducing that stigma one conversation at a time. And I will tell you, for the last 3 years, I've seen a huge shift in LinkedIn, right? Where companies didn't really talk about mental health, and now they're kind of honing in on that. And that makes my heart happy because, 45 years in corporate America, I will tell you, only one company ever really did it right. Everybody else kind of sucked at it because they didn't really have the tools. And if you can teach a manager how to identify stress and burnout and things like that, that makes them that much better of a manager, because people with mental health issues don't just leave that at the door when they go to work.
Nope.
And they're not only dealing with their day-to-day job stress, but they're dealing with all the other shit that's coming at us every 14 seconds of the day.
Yeah.
Having companies like take that into consideration, for me, that warms my heart, is that they are actually looking into that and want to, make a difference. And I think that's where podcasting is so incredibly important. And we have kind of a responsibility now, right? Now that we've started our shows, is like being responsible about it, but also knowing that our listeners are not just here in the US. They are worldwide listeners. And if we can give somebody a tip or a trick that will help them get to that next day, and sometimes even that next minute, that's why we do this. I don't do it for my own personal glory. And we are not famous by any means. Believe me, we are just two women trying to figure our shit out and talking to really amazing people in this world that have done similar things, right? And have gone out and wanted to change the world, because I think times are changing where that we want to talk about it more, because what happens when you don't talk about it is that it's a lie, and we have to talk about this. We have to. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's where it really starts, is being honest with yourself. I mean, even in the 12 steps, the first step is essentially being honest with oneself. Just admitting that there is a problem. It doesn't necessarily say you have to fix it tonight. It just says, hey, is there a problem? Yes or no? And, whenever I first did my first step, I did my first step for like 7 years, because I was like, yeah, I got a problem, but I didn't do anything else,
But, like when we get back into a corner, and for me, that corner was Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Where I had to come to terms with what was going on with me. And, I was going through everything. Like, I couldn't find my voice and I couldn't find my footing because I didn't understand what was going on inside of me, because I'd never felt anything like that before in my life.
Yeah.
And being mad at myself because I felt weak because I couldn't fix myself. And that's kind of what stopped me. And I was like, I can't fix this. I can't. And so when I called 988, I will tell you, that woman she literally saved my life. I was 20 minutes. And I'm eternally grateful for them. And some people may ask me like if I regret what happened. I don't. You know why?
Yeah.
Because all those beautiful, amazing things happened that I never expected. Like, and never in a day. I'm thankful. I'm eternally grateful for everything.
Yeah. And it's amazing that you are, and I'm internally grateful for you, for the person that operated 988 on the other line for you, and just everyone that's been a part of your path, whether it was good or bad, because ultimately it made you who you are. Without you being who you are, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Right. And there was just so many thoughts that had gone through my head, and I wanted to live. I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen next, and crazy things happened. But like crazy cool things, like things I never ever anticipated. Like if you'd asked me 5 years ago if I was going to write a book or be on an award-winning podcast, those answers would have been no, because I needed this to happen, and I'm not like a big believer in God. I'm not super woo-woo, but that day there was a voice, and I don't know who it was. It could have been my mom. It could have been anybody, but they were like, things are gonna get better.
Yeah,
and that's how I ended up calling 988.
I love that. I love that because it just kind of shows that there is a love out there that we don't necessarily have to understand. We just have to listen a little.
Yeah. Like put your ear to the ground. Go outside and ground yourself.
Yes,
I live in upstate New York. I can do that 3 seasons out of the year. That 4th season, that means I got to put on way too many clothes to like even think about doing that. But
that's what potted plants are for.
Yeah, but like here, like we were just tonight, we were driving up the drive, and we had a big old mama doe waiting for us in our yard, and she was maybe 5 feet from me. She wasn't spooked at all. She just felt very comfortable in our area, and got a little selfie with her, and I was like, okay, now go play. But those are the things that keep me grounded. Nature, get my feet in the grass, fishing. Things that bring me a little bit of solitude to just stop the shit that like is continue to like circle in your head. And when I first went through everything, I was going to the gym every day because that was like the only place I could get my brain to shut up. Because I only wanted to like focus on 2 things: don't fall off the treadmill and don't drop a weight on our foot. Okay, because both of those are going to hurt. And it was in the middle of January, so.
Oh, even worse.
Even worse, but now I do things that bring me a ton of joy.
Yeah.
And that helps me like work through some of the bad stuff. And setting boundaries are not my favorite thing in the world, but I need to protect me and my mental health, and being able to even recognize that now, because 5 years ago I don't think I would have recognized it. But now I can recognize what triggers me, what suits me, what doesn't suit me, and what's good for the rest of the world. And I'm super proud of myself.
It's way too cool.
Yeah, it's just life is really super cool, and I'm just super excited that I get to talk to hosts like you and share my story, and hope that somebody's listening knows that they are loved, wanted, and needed in this world. And like, don't give up on yourself. Like, you may feel like the world's given up on you, but don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Take a look on the inside and be like, shit, like, what do I want to do with my life in 5 years? Don't ask me, because I don't even know what I want to do in 5 years. I'll be like freaking 100,000 years old. I feel 100,000.
Oh, whatever.
Listen, I am 62, but I'm going to tell you that I act like I'm 12, but my body will tell you every single day I am 62 years old. But, Dirty Skittles and I were super, super fortunate. Super fortunate we get to do this and just changing the world. And that's
Yeah.
all I really want to do is change the world, change people's perception, and help them like get to that next minute.
Yeah. And that next minute is what can literally be the minute that counts.
Yes. And like if you're an attempt survivor, just be super cognizant of what your triggers are, of what suits you, what doesn't suit you. And your story is not just about your suicide attempt. It is what you did with your life after that.
Yep. And that's one of the things, real quick, you kind of triggered a quote. I don't remember from who, but it's the one that I haven't remembered in a long time. But it was something along the lines of, if you're watching a movie and you don't like it, do you necessarily get up and walk out of the theater? Or do you want to see how it ends? It's kind of the same thing. Like, well, shit, like, I want to see how my life ends. I don't want to, like, cut the cord early, So it's like, damn it.
Sometimes you just have to dig really deep. And that's what I did. I dug really deep. And I was like, you know what? The world is a better place because I'm here.
Yeah.
I get to learn and do creative shit every day. Now that I own my own business, I don't answer to anybody but me. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, if Mama wants to take a nap, she's taking a nap. Okay.
Real quick, Gretchen, where can people find you if they're looking for your podcast, for your services, or anything like that?
So there's two places. If you want to learn more about the podcast, go out to goesoninourheads.net.
Okay.
And if you want to learn more about my business and my business model, go out to shozersolutions.com.
Okay.
You can find us everywhere. We are on Spotify. You know what? We're everywhere. There's a lot.
I remember going through real quick. I was like, okay, they're on a lot more channels than I realized that are out there for podcasts.
Yeah, listen, it's the craziest thing. Like, we get to see what the Apple rankings are. Like, I want to know who's listening to us in Russia. Okay, I just would like to know, and I also want to know how the word "fuck" translates in Russia. Okay, because I use that word a lot.
I mean, I think "fuck" is one of those that is fairly universal at this point.
It should be, because I use it a lot. I've been a lot better lately. Like, it kind of depends on the guest, and I kind of like watch my tone. But it's not just a sentence enhancer. It can describe so many other things, and just really grateful to you, Keegan. Really proud of you for what you've done for yourself and what you do for your listeners and your guests, and just for yourself. The world is a better place because you're here and because you decided to stay.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It is one of those things that I've always had a hard time accepting those kind of things, but it does mean a lot to hear that from someone such as yourself, because it's one of those things to have a therapist, whenever they're kind of helping you through the shit, and you're like, all right, cool, what you're saying is cool, but you're missing experience yourself, So it's nice whenever someone like that's seen shit can tell someone else, be like, hey, I see you, everything's valid, I'm proud of you too. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, when somebody like says that to me, I'm like, oh, whatever. Do you know what's going on inside of here? Because I'm not sure if you do.
Yeah.
But hey, but podcasters like you and I, we are really fortunate, because unlike radio and television, which are geographically based, podcasting's not.
No.
And it's a love language, and we are out there making a difference. And if there's anything that we can do in the world, is make a difference. And if somebody's like thinking about, hey, I want to do a podcast, you know what? Go get a microphone. Go find a hosting company. Go find a way to record and edit, because the world needs your voice. And while there's 4.3 million different podcasts out there, your story might be that story that saves somebody's life.
Yep, that's exactly right. And it's crazy because in the rooms, like the recovery rooms, there's this thing that goes around that's something along the lines of, you never know whose wounds your words will fit. And that's the thing, because whenever I first got into recovery, I was hearing all these different stories like you, or stories that were less eventful, I should say, or stories that were way more eventful. And like the more eventful ones, I was like, oh, I did not, like, I don't even deserve to be in this room, you know, like they deserve all the attention. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to like steal their spotlight. That's the thing, is that we're all sharing different parts of the same story, and a lot of that is pain. And we've been comparing pain from one person to another, saying, oh, my pain is worse than yours, and you'll never understand my pain. But that's the thing, is that how am I supposed to understand your pain if you don't open up to me? And how are you supposed to understand mine if I never open up to you?
Right.
But that's hard.
And, you know, like you said, you know, the street goes both ways. And we have to be willing to listen.
Yeah.
And, like, if you have a friend out there that, you know, you could really depend on anything. There's a great video. It's on YouTube. It's from Simon Sinek, and it's called 8 Minutes. Every time I watch that video, I cry.
Oh.
But we always have 8 minutes for somebody. If somebody reaches out and they just want to talk, listen with your ears, not with your mouth. Because 9 times out of 10, we just need to vent. We need somebody to hear us out. We don't need you to fix us. We just need you to hear us out. Because maybe we are spiraling, and or something really triggering happened to us. And if you're offering to be there at any second of the day, actually mean it, because that conversation could save somebody's life.
Yeah, that's very true. And I think that I'd have to agree that in my experiences with myself and other people, is that we just want to be heard. We just want to be validated. We want to be understood. We want to be seen. And that's the thing, is that I know sometimes in my youth, I would try to help people out whenever they were venting to me, and they're like, never mind, it'd piss them off or whatever. And I totally get that, you know, now. But that was the thing, is that I don't necessarily want my problems fixed. I just want someone to understand that I'm having a really fucking hard time right now, and this fucking sucks.
Yes, 100%. And like, if you have that friend, you are extremely fortunate. But for people that don't have those friends, once again, you're struggling, call 988, because it is not just for suicide ideation. It is for crisis.
Yes.
And they are there to help you. And if you don't have the money for a therapist, go to a support group. I did.
Yeah.
And I shared, and I was nervous as fuck. But you know what? I found out there were other people out there that were kind of going through something similar. Maybe not my exact story, but how they dealt with it. And, you know, there are resources out there. I know it's expensive. Support groups are free, and they have them live. They have them online. Join a support group. You'll be surprised how much it helps.
Yeah. So real quick, since you're throwing out that idea, what kind of support groups come off to the top of your head? Which ones did you go to? Because I'm recovery based, so I'm like AA, NA, CA, whatever A.
I went to 2. So I went to one for suicide ideation.
Okay.
For attempt survivors.
Okay.
And then I went to another one just on general depression. Just trying to understand what was going on in my head, because I didn't understand it. Like, what the fuck is this? And like, shut up, brain. Like, shut up. Just shut up. But, you know, once I started to find out how to regulate my sleep, which was key. Setting boundaries was the next one. Putting up my shield a lot faster than I knew how to in the past. And also being very honest about how I felt. And taking my mask off. That saves me every single day now. And yes, I'm allowed to be vulnerable, and it's allowed to be messy. Listen, my recovery has been anything but like pristine, but it's my recovery, right? And don't compare yourself to somebody else and how they're recovering. It's, you know what? It's not a game. It is make yourself feel better. And like, if that means that you are a recovering alcoholic, or you are, you know, recovering drug user, doesn't matter. Find something that makes you happy. So for me, on my phone, and thanks to Dirty Skittles, she taught me this. I have a file of things that bring me joy. And so when I'm in a really bad mood, I will go back and look at those photos, and it puts a huge smile on my face. Smiling and laughter are 2 things that can make you feel better. So in the mornings now, And since January 20th of this year, I've been doing the same thing every morning, including the weekends. I start my day with a 20-minute funny video. And right now, like, I'm into like squirrels, raccoons, and baby goats. Oh, wait, and the bears that are like either swimming in the pool or jumping on the trampolines because they make me laugh. And then the other thing that I do is after I watch that 20-minute video is I stand up and tell myself what I'm grateful for that day, because a gratitude practice is one of the best practices you can have. It's got a real heart and mind connection. And so, like, you can start that. And then I also call Dirty Skittles every day. So even though, like, we don't work together, I still call her every day because she's still working at her horrible job. And I want to make her laugh about shit we should never, ever laugh about. So.
But that's the whole point. That's where it started, right? Why would you stop that?
Yeah, why would I stop now? Like, we laugh about shit you should never, ever, ever laugh about. I'm telling you. But it's how I find my joy and how I thank her every single day. Because Dirty Skittles was part of my recovery journey. And I get to do this with my best friend. And for me, I'm eternally grateful for that.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for correcting me without saying so. That your journey is also recovery based, because mine was more substance use, but I still had a lot of mental health stuff to deal with too, because undiagnosed ADHD or ADHD my whole life, and now was misdiagnosed bipolar. Maybe I am actually bipolar. Like, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on, and suicidal ideations is one of those things that I'm also recovering from. But that's the thing, is that I didn't mean to steal the thunder of recovery from you, because you highlighted it so well that recovery looks different for everyone. You know, there is no two paths that are the same. So I love that you highlighted that, because it's amazing, because so many people, I stayed out of trying to get better because I was like, I don't want to do what they're doing, or I can't do what they're doing. And so it kept me in the shit for a long time, you know. But once I figured out, oh, I don't have to do everything exactly the way that it's laid out this way, or I can figure out my own way a little bit, but with guidance and everything, I can reach out, I can ask for help, I can ask for directions. It doesn't have to be all gloom and gloom. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom.
No, it doesn't. And like, you can make your recovery fun. Okay? Yep. I try to start a podcast. You know, start watching dumbass videos. I am telling you, that's the best way to start your morning. Like, just go check out like baby raccoons and squirrels, because they're both evil, but they're funny when they're little. But, you know, also remind yourself that you are a good person, right? We all go through our own variation of shit from day to day. Yep. But, you know, the world needs you. And we want you here, and we want you to get better. Yeah. But, you know, give yourself patience and grace, because nothing fucking gets fixed in a day. Like, I wish it did. Like, I wish I had a big old, you know, remember the Staples, like, easy button? I want the fucking, like, fix my mental messiness. Like, I just want to punch it like 42 times. But, you know, also, like, with your friends and your family, offer them patience and grace too, because they're learning. They're trying to see the new you versus the old you. It takes a long time. But be proud of yourself every single day, because like, you chose you decided to choose you. Yep. And I think those are really important qualities for anybody that has gone through any type of recovery, is you chose you. Nobody else did that for you. You did it for yourself. And that's something to be super proud of.
Yeah, it is. And I like to tell people that they're remaking themselves every day in recovery, because just like you said, they are choosing themselves. They should be intentional with their day. They should be sitting there, and if they're like me, figuring out who the hell they are and making their identity, instead of letting labels choose who they are and what they do.
Yeah.
You know? So
I mean, look at me. I'm 62 now, and I'm reinventing myself every single day. Like,
that's awesome.
Things weren't working out with the way I originally wanted to do my company, so I pivoted. And now I'm gonna do my joy course and do shit that makes me happy, makes my heart happy.
Mhm.
Because, once we're happy, the other people that surround us, they feel that joy, they feel that happiness.
Yep.
And, always, always, always remind yourself to thank them for sticking by you, because it's a choice for them. And they could just dip out any second. But for those people that have stuck with you through your entire recovery, do something nice for them.
Yeah.
A simple thank you goes a long fucking way.
Yeah.
Be considerate of their time and their energy. They all have their own shit they're dealing with, but if they have stuck with you and have figured out that you're trying to heal yourself, and they give you really good kudos or give you a pat on the back, give them the same thing, because they may be going through something else, but may not let up onto you because they know you're already struggling. So be cognizant of the people around you, and just remember self-love and self-care, because at the end of the day, I was not taking care of me. I took care of everybody else. I thought I did a really good job, but apparently, shit fell through the cracks. But I get to talk about this now, and even if you're in your late 50s or 60s or 70s, it is never too late to start over. Ever. Find the thing that brings you joy. Don't chase the money and chase the dream, because I'm just going to tell you, money brings you a lot of bullshit that you don't want to fucking deal with. Find the things that bring you joy, because that will make you want to get up every morning and go do that thing again. So, yeah.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that wonderful insight with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It does make me have to ask, though, do you think that we could see you on in the future again? Because we are getting close to the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah. You can see me as long as you want to.
Sweet. Because I'm excited to see the kind of rabbit holes that we could dive down, because this is just awesome, being able to speak with someone that is so open and honest about everything that is going on in their head, because it's hard to open that walnut sometimes. Some people want the attention of people asking them what's wrong. Some people don't know that there's something wrong. Some people think that they're fine, they'll figure it out, even though they're really falling apart, but other people might be able to see it, so on and so forth. The world is a crazy place. Like you said, it's on fire, and everyone deserves to be heard and seen.
They do. I think maybe one of the next topics we could talk about is extroverts, and especially people in recovery that are extroverts, and how, if you know somebody that maybe needs to get into recovery, and how to talk to them. Because extroverts, we are our own special breed of messed up in the fucking head, and we don't want to tell anybody, because we'd rather just joke around and play around with life and be like, hey, everything's fine, and in the back of their head we're like, I fucking hate everybody. Yeah, I get it.
Just let it end. When will it end?
When will this shit stop? Yeah. I'd love to come back on. You can come see me. You can come find me anytime.
Awesome. I'm so appreciative of that. I also got to say, I think one of the ways that we can highlight to people that are really going through it, that are sitting there saying that they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, they might want to die every day. They may want to finish it off, but they still wake up. And I think that is sign enough that they want to see the next day.
Amen. I just want to come give you a big hug. I'm not getting on a plane anytime soon, though. So.
Well, that's fair. I'm a hugger myself, so if we ever run into each other, we'll give each other a big bear hug.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would love that. But yes,
Same.
I think that there's so much we can talk about just from both sides of recovery.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. And you also have a little bit of a techie side to you as well. So
I do. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, and that's awesome. But you're also using it with your recovery, which leads us into our little game show. If you want to play it real quick.
I do. Let's play it.
Awesome. So Gretchen, we're going to play Tech It or Leave It. I'm going to throw you some common tech and wellness solutions, And you let us know if you would tech it, as in you would use it, or leave it because it may just be worthless. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, up first, meditation apps like Headspace or Calm.
For me, I would check it because for me, I have a little bit of ADHD. Like I can't fucking sit still for like 2 seconds. So, but for other people, it may work, but for me, it doesn't.
Fair enough. There's that honesty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's one: AI chatbots for therapy support.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did use one.
I have to.
But I used it, so I'm gonna tech that. I used it because I couldn't get a hold of my own therapist, and I needed to get just some insight of how to reframe something in my head.
Ooh, okay. So you're not relying on it, but you're saying don't neglect it or don't dismiss it either.
Don't dismiss it. I mean, because some of the information is really good, and it really kind of depends on like the prompt that you put in there. But for me, it helped me wait until I could get to see my therapist, but gave me some context.
Okay, I love that. So seek it for support, but don't use it as a pillar of foundation.
Yes.
Got it. All right. So how about online peer support groups and forums?
Yes. Tech it every single day. Because for me, I live in rural upstate New York. Mm-hmm. There is not a lot of places for us to like check in and go be in person. So yes.
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Up next, wearable stress trackers such as a Fitbit or an Apple Watch.
Hell yeah, every day. Listen, I got mine on right now. Okay.
Yeah.
This just makes sure that like I'm actually getting my fat ass out of the chair and like walking. And I also monitor my heart rate. So my heart rate's really good right now. But yes.
Heck yeah. Awesome. So how about this one? Pen and paper journaling.
Every single day. Tech it.
Okay.
Tech it. That's how I wrote my book.
Ah, really? By hand?
I wrote my journals by hand.
Uh-huh.
And then as I was writing my book, I would go back through my journal. And this is a cool thing with that. What I did is I pulled out the parts that I wanted in my book, and everything that was like super negative and gave me like bad nightmares again, I crumpled into a piece of paper. And once we have our fall fire, I'm going to chuck that baby in the fire and let it burn.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That symbology is amazing.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, Felicia.
All right. Up next, TikTok or Instagram Reels as sources of mental health advice.
Okay. So I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Okay.
I am 62 years old, so I'm having a hard time with the TikTok thing. Like not my genre, but I do use Instagram, but not just for mental health stuff. I use it instead of like going down the rabbit hole. I use it to help me find my joy. So that's how my algorithm is set up now. It's like all funny, fucked up animal videos. So and some cooking thrown in.
Fair enough. Maybe not cooking the animals. Maybe cooking the animals.
No cooking animals. No.
Okay.
Like who wants to eat raccoon? Okay, or a baby bear? No, nada. No.
Yeah, good point. So, you'd say tech that one, right?
Check it.
Awesome. Okay. Up next, gamified mental health apps that like mood tracking with streaks and rewards.
Check it. And it's actually something that I'm building into some of the software I'm building out for companies.
Ooh, okay. Maybe we accidentally hit a secret paywall. So, virtual reality therapy experiences.
I have not tried that.
I haven't either. I've only decided to ask one of the Discord community members if they've tried to do VR to help them with the PTSD episode, and they said sounds really cool. I don't know if they've tried it yet.
I have a MetaQuest. So I have a Quest. I think maybe I'll check that out. And I'll come back to you and let you know how it works out. Like it either like freak me the fuck out or it will be helpful. So I'll come back to you on that one.
Awesome. Love it. All right. Traditional hotlines versus text-based crisis support.
I've used them both. And so tech it. Yeah. I 100% and am in alignment with that.
Okay, sweet. And then daily gratitude apps versus old school sticky notes on the mirror.
old school sticky notes on the mirror because you know what? I get to get up every morning and tell myself how much I love myself.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. I love that.
I love it.
With that, take it or leave it, Gretchen, you have blessed us with, I think, every single one of those you said you would tag. So, aside from the AI chatbots, just don't dismiss them, but don't rely on them.
Do not rely on them ever.
Yeah, don't go into AI psychosis. But with that, you have earned the title of the Digital Resilience Builder for Retrieving Sanity. So, thank you for playing.
Thank you.
Of course. I've just got to say, this has been an amazing conversation, and I've had a ton of fun, and I can't wait for our next conversation.
Yeah,
because
me
I'm just, this rabbit hole train is going to keep going.
It will. And two different types of recovery, but we're
Mhm.
all still kind of going through the same thing, same traumas, same everything.
Yeah.
For people out there, take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Please take care of yourselves. Life
Mhm.
can hit you in the ass before you even think it can. So be good
Mhm.
to yourself and be proud of yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And one last question, Gretchen. The name of this podcast is Retrieving Sanity, and we explore how all facets of living life impact mental health. Looking at the incredible motley adventures of your life, what does retrieving sanity personally mean to you today, and what's one practice or belief you believe is crucial for anyone on that journey?
Share your story.
Ooh, okay.
Don't hold it all in. Share your story. Let people know where you're at.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, short, sweet, and powerful too. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I am short. Maybe sometimes a little sweet. I don't know.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
I've been a little rabid lately. Like a little rabid raccoon. So,
And one more time for everyone else out there, where can they find you again? Because you got two websites.
2 websites. So podcast, go out to goesonourheads.net.
Okay.
And want to learn more about my company, go to shozersolutions.com.
Awesome. So, everyone out there, thank you for listening to Retrieving Sanity on WDJY 99.1 FM. And this has been Keegan and Gretchen with Shit That Goes On in Our Head podcast. Be sure to check us out next week. And also, I gotta say, remember, love yourself, love others if you can, but you gotta love yourself first. Try your best to just be a nice person, because it's really not that hard. She even said it. So, with that, much love. Sean.
Love this.